back, everybody. We're going to be continuing on with the database today. So once we've got our database password and that bit started, I'm going to be showing you how to do the adding products and viewing products buttons today. So let's get on with it. So we're going to add on to our code that we were looking at last time. This code, if you've not got it, you can get it from the GitHub, or you can code it yourself if you look back at the previous videos. And I'm going to start off, I'm going to go underneath my add customer, and I'm going to create another function here to actually add another product, or add a product. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of create a database which has customers, products, and then an order table which works out between the two. It will link the customer to the product, and we'll talk more about that order table in the next video. But to start off today, I'm literally going to have my customers, and I'm going to program this just as my products. I'm going to program this just the same as I did my customers. So I've got my field names here, they're going to have an ID, and we will look at automatically generating IDs and things like that, but we're not going to look in that much detail at this at the moment. We'll add a video at the end to refine some of these things. Quantity in stock and the manufacturer. And obviously the more detail you give, here, the more queries you can run and that kind of stuff. So I'm just going to keep it basic there, but you can add more field names. And then my product data is going to be a malt enter box, and that is going to have a title. It's going to have an instruction. And then it's going to have the field names, and then it's going to have the list of pre-populated stuff that's in those fields. So for my ID, I'll put a 0 in there to start. My product name, I'll leave blank. My quantity in stock, I'll put a 0 in there, and my manufacturer, I'll leave blank as well. But obviously, you can put some information in there if you like to make it a bit easier to enter the data. If the product data is the same as none, that means that the user's pressed cancel, and we're going to return to the main menu. For everything else, it means that the user hasn't pressed enter, and at this moment there's no validation, so we're going to assume that the user actually has entered everything correctly. So we're going to assume the user's entered everything correctly here, but we'll add in validation afterwards. So basically, if they enter this information, we're assuming it's all correct at the moment, we're going to write this information to a text file. However, like I say, we'll add a validation to this afterwards to actually check the information that's been entered. So file.write again, and we're going to open up, we're going to do file equals open, and we're going to open products.txt, and we're going to open it in append mode again, so we're just going to be adding to this each time, and we're going to write each item into the text file followed by a comma, and then finishing the line with a new line symbol. So we're going to do for x in range, and the range is going to be the length of the product data. File.write data x plus a comma, and that's it. So it writes the product data, so it takes the product data here that my user has entered, that gets saved into a list, and then product data here is a list. It takes every item of that list one at a time, so from 0 to the length of product data. It writes the item into my text file here, and follows each item by a comma, and that will help us search the data and things like that. Once we've written all the items, we're going to use a /n, which is going to be the new line symbol, so that it's ready to write the next piece of data. So file.close, and then call the main menu. Let's just check before we go any further that that actually works. So let's call the product, add product here at the end, and just make sure that's actually working. So there we go, that's popping up there, that looks like it's good. So I'm going to press cancel for the time being. And I'm going to quit that. Yes. There we go. So I'll get rid of that for a second because I've tested that that add product is working. And now what I want to do is I want to another function here which is going to view the products. So define view product. And this one here is fairly straightforward. It's going to be file equals open, and we are going to open up the products file. So it's the same as this one here, so products.txt. And we're going to open it in read mode. And then we're going to actually read it. So the product data equals file.read. And then we are going to create a code box. So a code box is just to display information using Easy GUI. So that has a title. Sorry, I think yeah. So this is a title actually on the code box, and then it has a actual title in the grey bar at the top. And then it actually has the product data as well. And then we're going to close that. And then we're going to call the main menu. So let's try both of these. In order for it to work, we have to add a product first of all. So we can't view it without adding the product. So we'll add a product in. So ID 0, product name, well, that could be name. So I don't know. There we go. And if I press OK, I'm going to exit that now. Sure we want to quit? Yes. So I'm going to exit that now, and now I'm going to call the view product function. Get rid of this password menu as well. And there we go. So, oh, I'd actually been testing already, so there's already something in there. So it is actually working. So we've got our two products in there. Obviously, I had to put some validation in there because I put the more or less the same thing in there twice. Right, just exit this for a sec. Okay, so now what I just need to do is I need to update the main menu so that I actually can select these buttons as I go. So in my main menu at the moment I've got this elif button choice here, and I've got my choices at the top here. So I need first of all to update the choices, and I'm going to add in here two more choices. I'm going to add in by the, what does it matter what order you do it in, but I need an add product. And I need a view product as well. So I've got the two adds together, and I've got the two views together as well. So view product, or maybe view products is probably more accurate. And then here in my elif statements, and do another two button choice equals, and this first one is going to be add product. And remember, it has to be exactly as it appears in the list, which is here. Okay, so that looks pretty good. In that case, I'm going to run the add product function. However, if they didn't do that, maybe they clicked on view product instead. So the product is view products with an S. So this again has to be the same as this here, so it looks pretty good there. So to hit view products, I want to call the view products function. What have I called it? View product? Or I've called it view product. I'm going to change that to view products, because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be viewing products. And that should be it now. Let me just check. That's looking good. So I'm going to call, what did I, just to check it, password menu, just to check it all works. So password menu, it's already got my password in there. So the menu is updated now. I've got my two add functions here, and I've got my two view functions here. Let's try add product. Let's try ID 01. Press OK. So that's allowed me to view, add a product. So now if I go to view products, there's the one that I just added in there, and my other ones are still in there as well. And that's all working there. Obviously we've got the same ID numbers and things like this, so we are going to have another video which is called validation, which will actually stop us entering duplicate items and things like that, and we'll add that validation onto the end once we've got the bones of the database done. So there you go, nice and quick one for you guys to add in the customers and the products. So next time we're actually going to be looking at actually adding in the order table and creating a composite key. So if you come back next time, that is what we'll be doing. Thanks a lot for watching.